Hi, students. We're going to go in this lesson over frequency charts and histograms. So this is 6M6 lessons 4 and 5, maybe some extra bonus material, but let's get going with what we want to learn today, which is frequency charts and histograms. So we're going to look at the same data that we used yesterday. This was the number of pieces. Remember, this was the number of pizza slices teachers ate for dinner. Right? So we had a lot that ate 1 and 2, some that, a pig that ate 8, maybe that was me, one that ate 6, but for the most part, they eat a little bit less than that. So let's talk about frequency charts and histograms. So how do we so we talked about dot plots yesterday is a way of looking and analyzing data. Histograms are kind of like dot plots, but maybe a little bit more, they look a little bit different. They're bar graphs instead of dot graphs. And then frequency charts can also be pretty useful in terms of finding out some information about the relative responses, the relative number of responses we're getting. And they actually can be quite useful to look at as a chart. So the way frequency charts look is we have a column that is the first column, which is the value. So I'll just make it right here. Whoops. Let's see if we can make these straight. Then we do a tally, and this is kind of like our dots in a way, but that'll be our tally column. Then we'll have a frequency column. The frequency column will just be the sum of our tally. So we'll add like an addition of our tally. And then we have this thing called relative frequency. And this will tell us what the most common number is, or how common each number is as a percentage. So let's see. So if we have values, remember we had values of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we don't want to have any gaps here if possible. 7 and 8. Okay, and then we just go down the line and we say, well, remember how we did it last time? We kind of did 3 at a time. Let's go in green. We kind of go 3 at a time and go, because it's just faster. 1, 5, 2. So we had a 1, a 5, and a 2. We have a 2, a 3, and a 2. So a 2, a 3, and a 2. So all we're doing is tallying these numbers. There should be 17 of them if you remember from last lesson. A 1, and a 6. So a 1, and a 6. Then we get a 2, a 3, and a 4. A 2, a 3, and a 4. Then we have a 1, a 2, and a 2. A 1, a 2, and a 2. And then a 4 and an 8. Okay, now we just add those up. Add up each tally to get the frequency of that value. So these are, again, it's like kind of like the dot plot, but these are numerical and and it's in a table. So we have 4 1s, we have 6 2s, we have 6 2s, we have 2 3s, we have 2 4s, 5s, we have 1, we have 1 6. We have no 7, so let's put a 0 in for that, and then we have 1 8. Now what we do to find the relative frequency is we simply take this number, and so we can look down here and remember our n equals 17. And we could get that by adding our tally or our frequency. Our frequency, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we confirm that our n is indeed 17, the number of data elements. So the relative frequency is our 4 divided by 17. I'm going to take out a calculator because that's not a fun thing to divide. So we get 4 divided by 17 is 23.5%. So this is 23.5%. 6 divided by 17 is 35.3%. 35.3%, and that's 6 out of 17. Well, 2 out of 17 is, calculator help, 11.8%. Maybe we'll just go ahead and put our percents in. So this is also 11.8%. And then 1 out of 17 is 5.9%. And that's also then 5.9%. And then we have 5.9%. And then 7 is clearly 0%. So this is what we call a frequency chart, a frequency, a frequency plot, if you will. Not really a plot, but just a frequency chart. Sometimes people like to make lines to make it really easy to read, like this. Or maybe it makes it harder to read if I go over the numbers, but that looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this to the next level, and we're going to build a histogram, but I'm also going to show you a second way to build frequency charts. Sometimes we do frequency charts and we use bands of numbers. So the way that we do a band of numbers is sometimes we don't want to just do every single number, so we say all numbers between 0 and less than 2. So that's basically like 0 and 1. So this is 0 through all numbers less than 2. Got that? Then we have 2 through all numbers less than 4. Because we're going to band, so we're going to use bands of 2, right? So this is like kind of like 0 and 1. This is 2 and 3. But this is the way we usually write it. So then here we'll say 4, and you guessed it, 4 to everything less than 6. And then we'll have 6 through everything less than 8. And then 8 including everything less than 10. Right, so this will be 4 and everything less than 6 would be 4 and 5. And this would be 6 and 7. And this would be 8 and 9. And if we had more numbers, we could keep going, but we know we don't, because 8's our biggest number. So we'll stop there. And you don't need, these things I just wrote in there, you don't need to put those in a frequency plot, because once you understand how to read this value line, this value column, you don't need these numbers. So let's go ahead and fill in our tallies. So again, here we go, 1, 5, and 2. Well, 1 would go here, 5 would go here, and 2, it doesn't go here because 2 is not less than 2. 2 goes here, right? This is 2. So 2 and everything less than 4. So let's see, 2, 3, and 2. That would be 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1. 6 and 2. 6 goes here, and 2 goes here. 3 and 4. 3 goes here. 4 goes down here. 1, 2, 2. So 1, 2, 2. And then 4 and 8. So 4 and then 8. And we should still have 17 here. So we get 4, 8, 3, 1, and 1. So 4 and 8, 12, 15, 16, 17. So we still indeed have n is 17 because we have the same data set. And then we could go about calculating our relative frequencies over here. 4 out of 17. If we recall, 4 out of 17 was 23.5%. Let's see, 8 divided by 17. 8 divided by 17 is 47.1%. 3 over 17 is 17.6%. And then 1 over 17 is, again, 5.9%. So that's nice. We can kind of see here that, 2 and 3 is almost half of our data. It's 47%. Kind of neat, kind of cool to see it like that. All right, so here we go. So now we're going to go down here and we're going to write our numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to draw. So here's our here's our 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make bars from 0 to 2. And we're going to make it so for the way on our histogram that we represent values from 0 to 2 is we take everything from 0. We're going to draw a line from 0 to 2, but we're going to draw it exactly where the data is. So we have a frequency of 4 for all of our data between 0 and 2. Okay? So you can color that in if you wanted to. We're not going to color it in because that might get a little messy. So now we have 8 values from 2 to 4. So now on our 2 to 4, this has got to go all the way up to 8 now. 8 from 2 over to 4. At 4 to 6, we go where there's only 3 values. So here we go like this. And there's only 1 from 6 to 8. And there's 1 from 6 to 10. So we can see that almost all of our data, almost half of our data is between 2 and less than 4. We have a lot of data still between 0 and 2. And then also from 4 to 6. And just a little bit of data between 6 and 8 and 8 and 10. So by far, this is our biggest band. This is the biggest single chunk of data. And remember, each bar includes the left side, but it doesn't include the right side. So all data in here is everything 4 up to everything like 5.9999. But 6 is included here. So this is 6 to everything just less than 8. Everything just less than 8. So 6, 6.1, 6.2, 7, and everything up to 7.9 goes in this band. Of course, here we're only dealing with integers, but if we had decimal numbers, the decimals would fit in these bands as well. So that's frequency plots and histograms. And we will we'll end this video here. Yeah, come back here. We're going to end the video. That was how to build a frequency chart and how to build and relative frequencies included, and then also how to do histograms and banded histograms. Very important, these banded histograms, because you can imagine if you had data that wasn't all just integers, it was a bunch of decimals, you'd hate to have, you'd want to have ranges of data and not just individual pieces of data. We'll do examples like that. I'll have another video at the end of all this where I put all this together with some examples. But right now, I just want to teach the basic concepts, the basic constructs, stuff that can help you get your homework done. And this project, we have a project in my class upcoming on all this stuff. So see you with the next video.